All right, welcome back to Between Two Falcons. Today I've got Jalen Thompson joining us. Thanks for jumping on our little vlog here and telling us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I was born in, I want to say Grapevine, I believe, and then my parents moved us down here. So yeah.
Okay, and you're on spring break right now. Are you got any fun plans for spring break, or is it just being at home and enjoying a little break from school?
Pretty much just being home, having a break from school. Both my parents work, so really there's no set date to, go on vacation or anything, but I'm just glad to be home for a short period of time.
What year are you at UT Permian Basin?
I am a sophomore right now. I'm going to be a junior next year, and I graduate in 2025, I believe.
Okay, all right. So what are you majoring in?
Business management.
Okay. What's the plan? What do you want to do with business management once you graduate?
So before I came to college, I always looked at different majors and, I figured business was like the easier route for me because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do before or outside of college. But after, my first year being a freshman, I figured the business management was the best route for me because, even if football doesn't work out, you always want to have a backup plan. So like I'm been thinking about having my own like small businesses to keep me going and try to get myself financially stable outside of college.
Okay. So speaking of small business and business management, you got a little side hustle going right now, right? Tell me about.
Yeah, so right now I customize shoes for people because I'm in college. I don't have time sometimes to have a job since I have football and schoolwork. So I figured, I tell people in college that I customize shoes. I figured it's a great way to get quick money when I need it, and it's more convenient for me because I can work on my own schedule.
Okay, so what does that look like? What does customizing shoes look like? What do you do? Is it just doing whatever the customer asks you, or do you have a specific
Yeah,
design that you
so
you put on?
Yeah, so basically how it works is people just come to me and say, "Hey, I need this shoe done. Is it possible you could put this on the shoe?" But for like as of right now, most people just hand me a shoe and they'll be like, "You can freestyle it, do whatever you want." I actually have one of the shoes next to me. Can I show you if you wanted to look?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Please,
basically,
please.
before this, I made this shoe right here my senior year in high
Okay.
school when I committed. So I don't know if you can see that. I made
Yeah,
a
that looks awesome.
UTPV based shoe. It might be backwards on your screen, not sure, but
No,
I made a
it's
UTPV
it's great.
based shoe with just different designs just to put it there. That was my number in high school, so this is kind of what I show people of like the different things I could do or input on the shoe. So really, I kind of just negotiate with them like, hey, like, do you want this on your shoe? They'll tell me what they want, and I'll just give them examples of what I could do with what they want, and then really from there, I just go along with what they like.
That's awesome. And that looks really good. That's a great job. Now, do you freehand that, or do you have some stencil that you design and attach to the shoe and then paint over it, or
Yeah, so I pretty much have a Cricut machine. I can cut stencils out.
okay?
Part it kind of depends on what the customer wants to know, like what I need. I can freehand it. Oh, sorry. I can freehand what they need if it's not too bad. I have a paint airbrush that I can use to make certain designs. So really kind of just depends on the type of work I have to put on the shoe to know what I need to do to make it, look as best as possible, really.
It's really cool. So, how did you get into that? What brought that to the forefront? You said, I want to dabble in this. I want this to be my side hustle.
So really, it wasn't my idea actually. So I myself, I just get bored. I like to draw and do fun things. So I'd say my junior year of high school, I painted on one of my vans, as a joke, just because I was bored, and I wore it to school because I thought it was cool. And now keep in mind, it's like not compared to the work I do now. But my friends were like, "Hey man, where'd you get your shoes?" I was like, well, I mean, I just did them myself because I was bored. And then he's like, you do mine like that? So, I went ahead, did my friend's shoe the same as mine. And the next, that's kind of how it got around the school, he's like, "Hey, Jalen did these shoes. He did them for free, but I think he should do it for money." And so like my friends would tell me like, "Hey, people want their shoes done like mine and yours. I figured, it'd be best if you can do this and make quick money. I figured it'd be a good idea." So that's kind of really how it started. And then from there is when, it just progressed.
That's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The notes I have are that you've done about 40 different pairs of shoes for people or something along those lines. Is that right?
Yeah, so I try with like within college and high school, I can't really count how many shoes I've done, but with
Okay.
my time being in college and when I started doing it, I do about maybe one or two shoes a week, probably around that much.
Good stuff. And so you did that. So tell me how, if I wanted to get in touch with you, if anybody's watching and wants to get in touch with you and have them design your shoes, how do they get in touch with you?
So really, I'm open to social media. Like if you have me on Snapchat, people will text me on Snapchat like my friends, but for most people who might not have me on Snapchat, I actually have an Instagram page I'm trying to, so most people, when I post it, I have my friends, repost it, post it. People follow me, and then they pretty much just DM me on Instagram or what they want. I just get back
Okay.
to them as fast as I can.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I may send you may send you a request. Can I get a discount? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So moving on from that, so you got to side hustle. You're majoring in business. You want to be a business owner. But there's something else I want to ask you about, and we talked about this offline a minute ago. Um, in my notes, it says that that you were a monk before you came to UTPB. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so pretty much, so my mom's Buddhist, so I kind of been raised into the Buddhist culture and things like that. So pretty much like sixth, seventh grade is when I started. I used to do it in this. I did it in the summer for about a month. So really, it's like the man of the family or the boy of the family. When you have kids, it's kind of good luck and it's respectful for the family for them to do that. So like for my mom, because I respect her culture, I would do it for her every summer for about a month, and then from there, I did it all the way up until my junior year of high school. So I couldn't do it anymore because of being busy with football and college and things like that. But I mean, yeah, for the time being, I appreciated it.
Yeah. Give me something that you learned by doing every summer. Something that during that time away you said, I've learned this. This has been transformational for me because of X. What would that be?
For me, so I'd say I learned a lot of things like mental health, mental strength, and just things that, like how to appreciate things more. Because as a Buddhist monk, you're taught to be calm and just respect everything. So really, like it's more of a discipline thing, I guess, because anyone could do it, but it's like something you really got to commit to if you want to do something like how I did it all my years when I was doing it for like a month. Even in doing it in a month, you still learn a lot because even you're only surrounded by monks 24/7 because we're not isolated from the world, but we're in our own little temple around for people if they want to come visit. So it's more of a, I don't know how to explain it, but like it's more of a, you kind of have to experience it just a little bit to get what I'm saying because it's not for everyone if you want to be a monk, but I'm sure if people were to be a monk, they'd appreciate it more, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, it does. There's a book, um, uh, and I can't, the author's name escapes me right now, but he talks about going and living with uh, monks for a month and the experience and the appreciation for so many things that hit that experience gave him. He learned to appreciate some things and have a different perspective on life. It's a really good book. I'll find it and send it to you. And I'll send
Mm.
you the author's name. It's really good. It's been several years read it. So tell me, so you've got all these things. You got school, you got football, you got your side hustle, your shoe business. how do you juggle all those things? How do you find time to do all those things?
Really, having football and having school, first I start with, my school because, school comes first. So I want to be able to pass my grades. So really, I do I pretty much do my shoes depending on my schedule for the week. And so when having to deal with football and having to deal with school, I kind of just base it off when I have my schoolwork done, when I have football. So whenever people want shoes done or anything like that, I'll let them know, hey, I'm free this day from this time to this set time. So it's never, hey, I can't do your shoes. I'm busy the whole day. I have time to work around it. So like say I have an order of a shoe to do, but I have too much homework or I have football meetings to go to. I pretty much work on the shoe little by little from the time I have each day until it's done, really. I never really set one thing aside, set the other thing to the side because, schoolwork has to be done. You can't be late to meetings. You got football. So I
Yeah.
pretty much just, let the people know when I have time to do it.
Tell me something you do when are looking for something just to do for yourself as far as your downtime goes. What does that look like? What do you um, video games? Do you is it you go for a run? Do you just the appreciation of being a Buddhist monk for
Mhm.
so long in your life? I mean, do you meditate? What does that look like? What do you do for downtime?
Yeah, so as far as like my downtime or free time, it really consists of like the same general things any person would do in their free time. Like I have a gaming system, so whenever I have free time from school, shoes, or football, I play the game for like an hour or two. And like on weekends when I don't have much to do, I like to clean around my apartment and listen to music and just, draw whatever I'm thinking about. And like as far as like meditating, being a monk, I do my best to at least meditate once a day because we'd meditate every day in the morning at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So I do my best to at least meditate once, maybe twice a day, just to help me calm myself because of all the things you
Okay.
got to deal with being in college.
Um, Wrapping up these things and moving on to the next thing. I want to give you an opportunity to, and we talked about this offline before we started the recording. Ask me anything you want to. If there's a question that you have of me about whatever it could be, what is there a question that you have?
Um, I would say not off the top of my head. I can't think of a question, but I know one or two questions might come to me before this ends, or later in the
Okay.
future when I meet you
Okay.
in person and walk by you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's go to some fun questions here. If I get in the car with you and you turn it on, what's playing on the radio?
Man, I actually listen to a variety of music. I kind of base it off the person who's coming in the car, like your personality. I try to read the
Okay.
person before I play music. So if I know it's someone, I'm on the football team with or I'm friends with, and I know they're okay with the music I listen to, I'll play some rap here and there. But like if I'm in the car with, a girl or people who aren't into like rap music, I have separate playlists to play like, R&B music, calming music. And since I've been down in Odessa for about 2 years, I started listening to country music more. So I know it's a safe
Okay.
place. I can play some country music in there. So, I have a quite variety just to make people happy.
All right, good stuff. Um, Jalen, tell me the last book you read. What do you remember what that might be?
I got to think about this one. I'd say my freshman year of college. I don't remember. It was for an assignment for my English class in college. I don't
Okay.
remember the name, but it was a pretty big book. I will say that.
Okay. All right. All right, good stuff. Um, what was the last movie you saw in the movie theater?
Ooh, Creed 3 that just came out. I don't remember if it was this
Yeah.
week or last week.
Yeah.
I just seen that.
Yeah.
So, pretty good movie, I'm not gonna lie. I've waited for a while. Pretty interesting things.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, I hear it's pretty good. I haven't caught it yet, but I hear it's pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, all right, if we're back at your apartment on campus in Odessa, we open up the fridge. What are we going to find in the fridge? Tell me 5 things we'll find in the refrigerator.
5 things you'll find in the fridge. First, you'll find a bunch of eggs. I can't ever run out of eggs. You'll find a lot of
Okay.
condiments. Um, let's see. Coming from an Asian family, you'll find a lot of Asian foods you might not be familiar with, packaging like that. And then probably,
Okay.
some fruit, some milk. Nothing too crazy, just the main proteins you need to cook being an athlete like I am. So nothing too out of the ordinary.
All right. Good stuff. Tell me along those lines. Tell me your favorite food. Like if you could pick anything for dinner tonight, what do you have?
I'd say I'd say fried rice because, I
Yeah.
love the way my mom cooks fried rice. So, she taught me how to cook it. So I cook it pretty often. And then, like, there's a variety of how to make it with different meats. So I figure, that's something easier for me to make and I can make it in a lot of portions. So if I wanted to cook something right now, it'd be fried rice.
Yeah. So a big walk.
Hmm.
And what are you doing? Are you doing pork? You doing what does that protein look like in there?
It's more of
Obviously an egg.
yeah, eggs, chicken, beef, broccoli, carrots, diced onions, scallions, all that good stuff. I'll put it in there about the same time, and I'll just rotate the meats every other week.
Sounds pretty good, man. You're making me hungry.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Uh, so last question here. You mentioned that you got a gaming system. If you're jumping on your gaming system and playing a game, what are you playing? What's your current game to play?
My current game to play right now is Apex Legends or Call of
Okay.
Duty. I play those two pretty heavily because, I figured those two games are, pretty skillful to play with, and it helps me calm myself down because I can play with a group of people.
Yeah, I can appreciate that very much. All right. Look, Jalen, thank you so much for taking some time to talk
Mhm.
to me today. I know it's spring break and you got way better things to do than spend time talking to me. Um, so I really appreciate the time. I'll go back and say, have you thought of a question you might want to ask me? And it's okay if you haven't. That's perfectly fine. We can catch up with that offline another day.
Um, are there any like big things coming to UTPB that haven't been announced yet?
Not officially announced. We've got some designs that we're working on of what a football stadium would look like right next to the Kirk, on the around the existing turf field, and really excited about the opportunity that may exist there for having an on-camp stadium. I think that could be really transformational, not just for athletics, but for the entire campus. Students uh, get up on Saturday mornings, and decide to go to walk to the game. They don't have to drive to Ratliff or Grande. Just having all those people come to campus for a football game
Mhm.
is really special.
Yeah.
And I think the people we've talked about are really excited about the potential, and I'm personally excited about it because I know what it could be and what it can mean for everybody. So yeah, that's something big that is not in the too far distant future. We nothing official just yet. Waiting on some green lights from some folks, and then we'll get going on it full bore.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
how about
good.
that?
Like the
Yeah,
idea.
man. Yeah, yeah. It's going to be really neat. Be really neat. Well, Jalen, seriously, thanks again for spending some time with us. Like I said, I know you got more important things to do than to talk to me, and thanks for sharing some of your spring break and your downtime. And really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here and share some of my time with you.
Thanks. We'll see everybody next time.